Hey guys. I'm gonna make a video about uh, Locust and Lings. This is kind of an action-packed game. I make a ton of mistakes, but let's see what happens. Diamond level. I've lost some games recently, so I might be on the mid-diamond, I would say. I did get paired up against Guitar Cheese recently. That was random. Okay, so my opener is pretty straightforward. We're going to get mostly to the mid-game because that's the fun part. But I'm going a 5-hatch, 14 pool macro build. If he sends Reapers occasionally, like on a 2-player map, I'll usually make 1 set of Lings on a 4-player map. I won't worry about it. And as he kills drones, you make an extractor. So this is going to be hatch, 14 pool, 17 overlord, 2 queens, 25 another overlord, 2 more queens, so a 4 queen opener. And when your first queens pop, you make 2 extractors. I accidentally make 3, but whatever. It didn't really affect my playing of this game. So now we're I'll just keep rolling through it. Anyways, let's see what he's doing. Now, Locust Ling games. Locusts are a great mid-game unit, not so much in the late game. Obviously, can't get them early game. They're fantastic against Widow Mines and Hellbats and Hellions. Not so great against tanks. Fortunately, Lings will counteract that. So what we're going to be doing with, let's kind of see where we're at here. Well, I'll just keep going with it. So, anyways, what we'll be doing here is going for a Nidus play. You can see where my Overlord is lining up in the locations where I like to have my Nidus placement going on. I did not scout him much at all, enough to see that he had an expansion. That's an important scouting time. Other than that, I assume he's just, you can scout if you want to. But you're going to go the same build no matter what you scout, pretty much. The main thing is So that was good for me. I saw, I used my Overlord to block the Expo. He kills it with his units, revealing a bunch of Marines. Marines means he's going for an early push. Harassing Terrans will only have Reapers and Hellions. So anyways, I'm preparing for this. I saw the meta back, so I'm putting some Spore Crawlers up. That's an important part of this build, in my opinion, is you're going to be... So he goes for his push here, and I have 4 Locusts up. A couple more in production. One of them he kills because I just run it into his army. My trades fuses are not bad here. I get lucky on that, or whatever. Do well. And let's see how he's coming out so far. Looks like he's killed some of my units. That's okay. But my Locusts and my Queens, my 4 Queens with all their transfuse power, is cleaning this up. I'm running toward the Spine Crawlers as I need to. And then since my Spores have picked off his medevac, his units die over time. So that's one of the keys with our defense and the overall gameplay is we are going to tax Terran's gas units. Tanks are his main defense. We are going to only allow him 2 bases, which will barely give him the gas to make the right amount of tanks. Okay, make some mistakes here. When they do this, and you see that they got all this, get into that. I only got 1 in there, but that's okay. Okay, now let's see what Terran's doing. Terran's doing his thing, and he's happy with his 3rd base. Unfortunately, he left all this exposed. Okay. So let's see what's going on here. We'll go on the everything cam for a second. I target this down. You don't have to target down command centers, but with the Locust heavy strat. Okay, again, when you see all this coming into there, unburrow, go into there. I was clicking something like creep tumors that did not allow R to work. So, that's what I did instead. This is sad. This is pretty sad. That pretty much evened the game. I mean, I would have won instantly had my Locust not died there, but they do. So we're going to stick on everything here now. Dropping creep tumors, super important. You see how this creep spread is everywhere? This means that this corner will not have a turret for a long time to come. Excited about that. He does this, I'm going to go over here. Now what a better Terran will do is load into the medevacs and drop over. But it's really a dangerous game to be playing that, the medevac drop over game. Normally I'd have a few more queens, I wouldn't have lost them all. And within 4 or 5 seconds, my Locust popped. So, anyways. Now you always, as much as you can, I've lost so many units. Like I said, I would have had 6 more Locusts here. You always want to have a strategy of attacking from 2 sides at once. Preparing this angle by blowing down the rocks here with a couple Locusts eventually. Yeah, again, I didn't make him in. That was actually a good play on his part, but he just barely... The trade is not fantastic for him. But that was a good play on his part. So I'm trying my best to not give him a break. Switch over to this other side. He's got all his units prepared over here. He's doing great. He's feeling good. I got enough creep tumors, which mean that I'll have vision of that area for a good time to come. Okay, now... I have started to move the Lings in. The Lings are what allowed that command center to die so fastly and to not let the SCVs get away. The Lings are such a critical part here. I got 2-2 already started. I started off with 1 armor and 1 range. And then my next set of upgrades were melee and range, so 2 damage upgrades. And then I'm finishing up with 2nd melee and 2nd armor. So this kind of strategy is for a heavy mid-game build. And for this heavy mid-game build, you're going to want 2-2 Ling speed, enduring Locust. You don't need roaches. You don't really. You shouldn't need Hydra. Get Infester if you feel you're in a situation where you need Hydra. Queens. Queens are great, you know. And really just that medevac, I mean, this guy is, you see his gas income. For most Terrans, they have unlimited gas, but I'm keeping him on 2 bases. If he ever gets to Raven, then he's in a pretty good state of the game. But my occasional harass, that was just poor choice of lanes, whatever, it's just kind of running it in. My harass and constantly taking away the 3rd is what's going to hopefully give me the game right now. So he sets up pretty well here. Now I got this over here. I'm not going to go anywhere, but it's going to be hard for him to push into that. So I do this. And it really, what is Terran supposed to be doing here? You know, what could he be doing? Could he have raised his ramp? Yeah, he could have. Could have split his units up? Maybe. But it just takes one bad go of Locust to start, like... Locusts are like tanks. Once they get a little bit ahead of you, then you lose every single unit you have, just like Terran tanks. So anyways. So I do some pretty good harass there and just kind of mess with him some. And I'm starting to gain a lead. And for myself, I'm expanding into a 3rd location. Got all my upgrades. Got a 4th location going. I don't have a lot of bases here. I'm not quickly going into Hive. It's primarily a tank Locust play. Ling Locust. So here, I see he's got all his units. For whatever reason, I'm going over here. Got a burrow to block that. I mean, he's going to have a terrible, terrible time pushing this. Anybody can see that. I'm not even syncing up my Locust. People will tell you to sync up your Locust. Once they get splash damage, not good to do that. Prior to splash damage, like if you're fighting mostly bio, then you want to sync up your Locust. But against splash, it's good to trickle them in. This prevents the tanks from creeping in too slowly. Protecting this, spores, spines, whatever, just to slow down when he eventually finds it with his drop harass. Building something there. I'm going to move it a touch faster. Overall, I thought this was pretty exciting. He goes in with his Banshee. Killed. Again, gas, terrible. If he's able to get like 12 Banshees or something like that, then I'm in bad shape. But 1 or 2 Banshees here and there I can deal with. A few Ravens here and there I can deal with. More hidden expansions. I'm basically making expansions in locations where you'd have to use medevac to get to it. He can't just walk his army, and the importance of that is that Hellions are kind of unlikely to get there. I suicided an Overlord for that. Once Terran has moved all of his SCVs out of his main, is a great time to re-Nidus into his main. And now that you got all these Lings, yeah, he can react as fast as he wants to. It's always going to be too late. Because these 2/2 Lings are going to do wonders. Okay, he's pushing into here. Fine by me. So when Terran does something like this, and especially if you've kept his medevac count low, that's just, you're just lucky if you get that. He killed that, but he didn't kill my Locust. They all escaped, brought him over to here. So I'm going to kill all his depots, which means he can't make any more units, which means I should turtle up until I hit 200 supply. So that's your ultimate like kind of end goal scenario. Once you do this, you've won the game. Resetting his tech tree. Now, had he not done that, I would have sent some Locust to try to barricade those guys in with some Ling to clean up. But since I had a better attacking route, I went ahead and did it. Again, focus it down. Got lucky that it died or whatever. He's bad, I guess. But constantly blocking expos using creep. Just a little bit of pressure there. Nothing that's anything that's a big deal. Just enough so that he doesn't get a free base. So again, just keeping him on 1, 2 bases, whatever. Terran's coming for his big push. I just had those units there because I wasn't even using them the whole time. The basic concept is that all of his pushes are going to be slow, and because he's pushing into Locust, and every time he leaves, every time he mismanages his army slightly, the Lings are going to just destroy everything he got. He's destroying some of my stuff. I don't really care too much. It's important to constantly make Nidus. I mean, as you go for a more mobile army like late game, you might want to go into a Roach Hydra or something like that. But right now it's primarily Ling Locust. Locusts are not mobile, so always have a Nidus Worm near them. And you basically a good player should not lose his Locust with Nidus Worm near him. He's doing some drop harass, make a spore quickly. That's your number 1 goal there with that drop harass. Just get that spore going. Anyways, I thought there was something that happened there, I don't recall. Okay, I'm preparing for the end stages. Well, anyways. So that's the end of the game. So I got all my Lings over here, and my goal was to move my Locust to a position like right up here. And then as my Locust attack, Lings come in, and tanks are so good, but they are not that great against 2/2 Lings and 2/2 Locusts. So when the Lings come in, the tanks will auto fire like near the bio units, killing all that. Maybe they'll kill some of the tanks as well. And then the Locust on top of that that will allow the Locust to get within range, and it's going to be too much. Spread your overlords a little better than I did, but you see the general concept. Keep making Nidus and keep him on 2 base. If he gets to 3 base, you're in bad shape. So keep the guy on 2 base. Don't let him get to air units. You're going to trap him with your Ling, Locust play, constant Nidus. Don't let him get to battle cruisers, whatever. Keep on the pressure. Primarily focus on your 2/2 and then eventually get 3/3 with crackling and drops. Had he gone a very, very heavy tank build, then he could have held this base and he could have held this base with his tanks. And my Locust would be pecking at him. He couldn't move out, but without a fantastic amount of luck, he would end up getting to air units. I would get 200 supply, he'd get to air units. So what I'll do is I'll make my Lings, a pack of overlords here, take them, drop them here. Because if he goes like a heavy Thor tank, Banshee Raven army, then and Hellbats to harass these bases, that's a very common harass, is Hellbats to get the thirds. That's going to be pretty strong. But with maybe 10 overlords filled up with some Locusts and Lings, a Nidus won't live. He won't let that thing live long enough, but he can't stop a drop. No number of turrets can stop drops. And so he's going like, if he goes to Mech Army, it's highly immobile. I'll drop in there. The Lings will destroy everything in a second. A few Locusts will be able to survive, and they'll start doing their thing. Put a Nidus in here to get your Locusts out afterwards. And that'll pretty much force him to push. And if he gets forced to push, then you just bring all your Locusts back, bring your Lings back, and let your Locusts pick them away, and there's nothing he can do about it. He will eventually try to retreat, but your Lings won't allow that. Keep the Terran on 2 base. That's all I got.